President Trump tightening the grip on Iran, tweeting, "We are putting major additional sanctions on Iran on Monday." The U.S. trying to further cripple Iran's struggling economy to stop its nuclear buildup.
I'm not looking for war. And if there is, it'll be obliteration like you've never seen before. But I'm not looking to do that. But you can't have a nuclear weapon.
In an exclusive interview with Chuck Todd on Meet the Press, the president says he's willing to hold talks with Iran with no pre-existing conditions.
If you want to talk about it, good. Otherwise, you can live in a shattered economy for a long time to come.
On Thursday night, the president called off strikes against Iran after the downing of a naval drone, which the U.S. military says was in international airspace.
My biggest concern is the president is running out of room, running out of options, that this thing could spin out of control.
In his first public appearance since Iran shot down a U.S. surveillance drone last week, President Hassan Rouhani did not hold back. He said the latest sanctions targeting Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei are the irrational actions of a confused government.
They are suffering from mental disability. The White House is afflicted by mental retardation and does not know what to do.
The supreme leader occupies such a protected position in public life that in Iran, insulting him is illegal. The U.S. applying pariah status to someone so highly revered has angered leaders in Tehran.
A person loses his mind and does something insane and stupid. So what? They say they will put sanctions on our leader's property. But what is our leader's property? A simple house and a ceremony hall.
Iran is under such sweeping sanctions that the latest American move is entirely symbolic. But later this week, Washington has said it will add Iran's foreign minister Javad Zarif to the sanctions list. Attacking the country's top diplomat is something Tehran says permanently closes the path to diplomacy.
If you're being honest and want to negotiate, why simultaneously do you want to impose sanctions on the foreign minister? So it is clear that you are lying.
As the U.S. continues its pressure campaign, Russia has vowed to help Iran counter new U.S. sanctions.
Iran has been and remains our ally and partner, and we consistently develop our relations both bilateral and multilateral, which means any attempt to portray Tehran as a main threat to regional security or to bring it into line with ISIS or other terrorist groups is unacceptable to us.
On Tuesday, Foreign Minister Zarif said once again, Iran's religious views mean it will never pursue a nuclear weapon. He also reminded people that America is the only nation to ever drop nuclear bombs on another country.
Well, it's been another roller coaster few days with our split personality president creating a bunch of problems and then turning around and claiming he solved those problems. Every day with this guy is like Fight Club. One of these days we're going to find him in the parking lot outside the White House beating the crap out of himself. One day he's threatening war with Iran. The next day he's claiming he stopped a war with Iran. One day he's threatening to deport millions and rip apart migrant families. The next day he's saying he delayed the deportations. It's almost like he saw the polls and instead of running against the Democrats in 2020, decided to run against himself. Vote for me. I'm the only one who can stop Donald Trump. Trump swings wildly from one position to the next because he has no moral compass or a strategic vision, and that combination of ignorance and impulsiveness has been on full display during his administration's march toward war with Iran. Now, war with Iran would be catastrophic, it would be reckless, unjustified, and illegal, and yet many of the people around Trump have been agitating for a war with Iran for years. Trump, meanwhile, has repeatedly refused to divulge any details about what his administration might do.
Mr. President, are we going to war with Iran? I hope not.
Radio limits on the 27th. Will you take additional action?
I won't say what I'll do.
Mr. President, how will you respond?
You'll find out.
Are you willing to go to war with Iran?
You'll find out. You'll find out.
What? We'll find out? You're talking about a massive war that would destabilize the Middle East. You can't talk about it like you're hosting Dateline. They weren't sure if they were heading to war with Iran. Oh, but they'd soon find out. Trump doesn't answer questions about his plans because he has no plans. He wavers from one position to the next based on the last person he talked to or something he saw on TV. If he watches Sean Hannity's show, he wants to go to war. If he watches Tucker Carlson's show, he wants to pull back. And if he watches QVC, he ends up buying a bunch of jewelry. And that reckless impulsivity was on full display last week when it was reported that Trump had okayed an attack on Iran and then changed his mind at the last minute.
The New York Times reporting the president authorized military strikes against Iran, then called them off. The Times says the president initially approved attacks on a handful of Iranian targets like radar and missile batteries. The Times reports there were ships in position, there were planes in the air when the president walked the whole thing back.
On Monday, they shot down an unmanned drone flying in international waters. We were cocked and loaded to retaliate last night on 3 different sites when I asked, how many will die? 150 people, sir, was the answer from a general. 10 minutes before the strike, I stopped it.
According to a report by Reuters on Sunday, Iran's parliament speaker, Ali Larijani, said that the U.S. Middle East peace plan was toying with the nation's dignity and would lead to stronger resistance against Israel by Palestinian militant groups. As part of the plan, which U.S. President Donald Trump has dubbed the deal of the century, a U.S.-led conference will be held next week in Bahrain on proposals for major investments in the Palestinian economy. Iranian state news agency IRNA quoted Larijani as saying, "Trump wants to make a deal on the fate of the Palestinian people. While toying with the nation's dignity is scandalous, this will strengthen resistance movements as Palestinians realize that they can only succeed through resistance."
Washington wants a new Palestine to have no army serving the nation, and a vast part of settlements will be controlled by Israel. This is a major disagreement between the two sides. Palestine is therefore not even attending the conference and has denounced it.
We're not going to attend this workshop. The economic situation should not be discussed before the political one. As long as there is no political solution, we will not deal with any economic solution.
1, 2, 3, Palestine will be free from the river to the sea.
Thousands of Palestinians have taken to the streets in Gaza to protest against the plan. Demonstrators burnt American flags and Trump's portrait marked with the words "Deal of the Devil." They are demanding a complete boycott of the conference. Former Palestinian Education Minister Sabri Saidam thinks that the U.S. president simply doesn't care about the interests of the Palestinian people.
Alright, so Shalom Israel. We back here with another one. I ain't gonna hold you too long, but what I'm trying to show you is where we are, where we stand right here. On the brink of World War III, it's going all the way down. There ain't no question of if it's gonna happen, but when it's gonna happen. You can see Iran telling you that we have to. They have to. You're pushing them into a corner. You see Iran telling you that now we see that American politics and politicians in the government, they're retarded. They're psychotic. They're doing, as he's saying, there's no diplomacy anymore, space. They're doing everything they can to back us into a corner, is what they're doing. You're forcing our hand to have to hit y'all up. They're being seen for the cowards that they are. So now you want to go strike us and say you're going to strike us. You say you're going to do this and you're talking all this rah, rah, rah. When I see you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to beat you, hit you. And then when it's on, never mind. Like, what do you think they're going to do? It's time to go, Israel. Stay on guard, stay alert, okay? And take note that Jared Kushner is doing his little meeting right now, the Peace in the Middle East meeting, and Jared Kushner is going to be the one to, solve this problem in the Middle East between the Palestinians and the Israelis. Yeah, right. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them, and they shall not escape, okay? As a thief in the night. Suddenly, suddenly, suddenly. And what I'm challenging you to do is read Isaiah 47, and then go read in its entirety, and then go read Revelations 18, and tell me that ain't America. Tell me suddenly, suddenly, suddenly doesn't keep on appearing 1 hour, okay? The hour of temptation is that thermonuclear destruction. That's right, Israel's about to be lifted up out of here. I'm going to raise them out of the place whether you have sold them and return a recompense upon your own head. So all these crackers out here, I'm telling y'all straight up, not because I'm a racist, but I'm going to tell you straight up because it's the truth. You're going into slavery, so get ready for slavery. But basically Iran saying, ain't no talking to you no more. Ain't no talking. We're done talking. You talk to crazy people, you become crazy, and that's what America is. You see Seth Meyers telling you how crazy the government is. Even your own people admit that y'all freaking retarded and cowards and perverted and sick. Pride, pride, pride. Everything's gay. Everything's pride gay. I didn't know pride. Everything's just gay now. Like, y'all got to go. Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0. Y'all done. Oh, so you going to obliterate us, huh? Y'all are something else. And homeboy told you, man, we're the only people who haven't bombed on a country and taken over their resources and occupied everybody else's work. You know what I'm saying? Nagasaki and Hiroshima, you're the only people who ever dropped nuclear bombs on somebody before. When Japan surrendered, then you dropped the bombs on them. Cowards. Our captivity is over, Israel. Kwam Yashala. We about to rise up out of here. You soft Israelites, man, who want to be halfway in the truth and still in the world and still, I'm going to get my job, I'm going to get my fame on, I'm going to do. No, this place is done, nigga. It should not be heard no more at all in your music industry. You want to be a rapper and all that, man, let it go. Your aspirations, I'm going to get on TV. Man, you got to be gay to do that. Man, let it go. Stop looking back. Remember Lot's wife. Okay, and y'all looking back, I'm going to pick up my stuff, I need my stuff. She's going to get my bags. Nah, nigga, just let it go. Let your mama go, let your brother go, whoever you gotta let go, who's trying to keep you in the world and trying to keep you from God's law, trying to keep you from God's commandments, let it go now. It's time. It's over. And you can't say you didn't get warned. I put it out here very plain. You know what I'm saying? It's all, they telling you, the devil's telling you what's about to happen. Keep God's laws and live, otherwise die. The beginning is near. Shalom, Israel.